Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Shawn by Shawn Mendes. With almost 50 million monthly listeners on Spotify, Shawn Mendes is a pretty decently big artist. He's got a bunch of songs over a billion streams actually. Obviously popular for not only his music but due to his for his relationship with Camila Cabello as well. But he's got a lot of music. Stitches obviously being the first thing that kind of bursted him onto the scene, and I like that song. I have 3 songs saved by him overall, but this is going to be his 5th studio album, and this one is just a measly 12 songs and 30 minutes. So a really small little portion, self-titled, and no features, no nothing. It's doing decent numbers. Every song has over a million streams, and my favorite song on the album actually has 76 million streams alone. He's got some big songs. He's a pretty decently big artist, but let's get into the notes. It starts off with Who Am I, which is a automatic skip for me. And then it gets into Why, and that has the most streams on the song, and I believe that was like the first or the second single before the album came out. And I actually remember listening to that, and I the first time I heard it, I did really like it, and I do still like it. I think it's a good song. And then That's the Dream is just same thing as Who I Am. Just doesn't need it's just a song. Nobody Knows is pretty solid. It's the best production on the album probably. Is That Enough? Same thing with That's the Dream, just there. Heart of Gold is pretty solid. And Heavy is a good song as well. And then we'll go into That'll Be the Day, which is just there. In Between, just there. The Mountain is just there. Rolling Along is just there. And Hallelujah isn't his own song. Hallelujah, I'm not even counting genuinely as a song on the album, so let's call it 11 songs. And I'd say 4 out of the 11 songs are good, and then the rest of the 7 are just male Taylor Swift songs, like just folk written poetry that nobody really, I don't think anybody's like playing the shit. You can sit and listen if you're in a sad mood, writing in your fucking journal. But otherwise, I don't think this kind of music really has any sort of replay value in the world. And it's not even that it's bad, it's just not good, and it's like, it's for yourself really. You're not really making anything for your fans, which is fine. You don't need to do that. You could do whatever you want in this world, but I don't think anybody needs this. And it's again, not to be mean. Everybody has their own reason for creating their art. Art is subjective, music is subjective, and you could do whatever you want. I just don't think, for me anyway, that this album provides anything to your discography or anything like that. But to get into the grades for production, I gave it a 7. It's not that it's bad, it's not that it's good, it's just the guitar almost throughout the entire thing. Again, that Taylor Swift folklore written poetry, just a gentle guitar in the background. So it's not doing too much, but it's not really doing anything at all to get any more than a 7. For vocals and lyrics, I did give his vocals a 4. I honestly probably would have given it a 5 if he did less of his spoken word, whisper, soft singing. But if you listen to the Hallelujah rendition, he has a pretty decent voice. I'm actually a fan of his voice. So I do think he can sing relatively well. And again, just you're not really doing anything when you're just softly singing. I think you have to have a very special voice to make an impact in that kind of vocal range. But otherwise, it sounds good. For lyrics, I gave it a 3. There's honesty, there's openness, there's obviously transparency and some insight onto the pains that he may be feeling. But otherwise, it's not very inventive. Like, he's not saying anything new. He's not really making any impactful, lyrics that really make you like feel it. In my opinion, it's there. So I gave it a 3. For cohesion, I did give it a 9. It's all, again, Taylor Swift. I keep saying her name, but just folklore, gentle, soft music. And it's a self-titled album, so if that's how he feels as a person, as his personality, then so be it. You get a 9 for that. For originality, though, I did give it a 7. Again, there's just nothing groundbreaking, nothing inventive, nothing that really adds to your discography aside from Why. and even just the structure of the songs, just it doesn't do enough for me, in my opinion, to get any more than a 7 on originality. But to get into Care, I did give it an 8. I do think he deserves points for not creating a fully pop album and a fully, album that you can feel that is intended to try to make money, that's should try to be on the record, to try to be on TikTok or anything like that. Like, he made a pretty authentic album. I just think he could have, written more and just made the people feel what he was feeling a little bit better. Again, even just being only 12 tracks, again, Hallelujah is not your own track, so let's call it 11. Just being 11 tracks, just give the people a little bit more. The lyrics are not very deep, and they're not very substantial either in terms of quantity. So it could have been just a little bit more effort, but it is a little bit more mature than I anticipated, so I did give him an 8. But with a 7, a 4, a 9, a 7, and an 8, that does bring him to a 70. I think this is a fair grade. Again, if you put in more effort, had more songs, had more lyrics, I think it could have been a better grade. And I'm not saying that this is a bad album at all. I just think there could have been a little bit more to it. But 70, Shawn by Shawn Mendes, and I'll see you in the next one.